Thank you all for that. Ken, like I say, Ken and Vern are coming in from out west. Ken's the Vic Mar and Carter Tools dealer. He was here last time, but there was a massive snowstorm, so nobody showed up, unfortunately. But you're all here tonight, so let's give Ken a round of applause and welcome him.
Thank you. And so those of you that were here last year, thank you for putting up with me again. I know I've had a couple of people that have come from here to Calgary to stop in and see my shop and visit with me there. That was awesome, and I thank you very much. And my memory is really good. It's good for 30 minutes or 30 feet. So I can't remember the guy's name, but hopefully I can remember his face. Anyway, thank you for this opportunity. I will try and be as brief as I can and give you enough information to hopefully answer a few of your questions, and I'm willing to take questions if you would like, if you have any outstanding. I'll just go briefly through the different products, the lathes, the chucks, the jaws. I won't go that much into the Vic Mar accessories because I got 22 pages of them in the price list. We'll be here all month. A brief overview of Carter & Son and some of the new things, and then a couple other things that I'm starting to carry now. I know I had a cyclone here last year. I would have brought one, but we sold everything. And we'll just start with that. And those of you that can see, Vern has put a picture of the lathes that we have, Vic Mar has available. There are different versions of each one. So if you see the one, well, I don't need that much, but I still like that size, the capacity, there are other options. And then there's a couple neat things that are different as well. The first one is the VL150. It has a 12-inch swing, 1 horsepower motor. The second one is the VL200. It is a 16-inch swing and 2 horsepower motor. And again, then we have the VL240. That one is unique in that it has a swivel head. And so you can work 0 degrees in line with the bed, or you can turn that to 30 degrees, still reach it from the tool rest. And buried in the truck, I have an offset tool rest that's 18 inches long. It's actually Vern's design. He told me I need one of these. And can you make one that doesn't bend like the one I made? And so we did. And then shortly after that, everybody that didn't have a Vic Mar said, well, where's mine? So now we make it with a 1" by 5 post, so it does fit on other colored lathes as well. So if you're tired of reaching the middle of the bowl almost, and then your tool falls off the tool rest, we have a solution. The next one is the VL300. That is the big one. That one has a 24-inch swing and a 3 horsepower motor. It is also available in a toned down version in a 3 horse or a 2 horsepower motor as well. So you have some options there. One of the things, a couple things about the Vic Mar that kind of sets them apart. They're cast iron build, they're rock solid. The Windekind was turning all weekend, and quite often I'd see him put 16, 17-inch bowls on there without any vibration. And it was, they wouldn't let us bolt it to the floor in the showroom, I don't know why. But anyway, so they're rock solid. The headstock and the tailstock are machined together. That's a matched set. If you look at the crossbar at the end of the bed, there's a number there. That's to make sure that when after they painted it and put together, they put the right tailstock on that lathe because it's built with that headstock. The other thing that they do is the headstock spindle runs on tapered bearings. So you get a very smooth run, it runs cool, it runs quiet. And 10, 15, 18, 20 years down the road, and you decide you might have to change, maybe I should change the bearings. If you've ever changed wheel bearings on a vehicle, motorcycle, whatever, or if you know that somebody has, somebody that does, you can change them out for about 30 bucks and about half an hour, 45 minutes. It would take me 3-4 hours. So on the original lathe I had, which was a 20-year-old VL300, I got my son to help me because he's a machinist. And he did it in about 45 minutes. One of the things I wanted to mention with the, here at the club is on the VL200, it's the same lathe. They have one with a sit-down stand. So if you're at home, you're in a wheelchair, I would love to turn, but I can't stand up. Or if you are, if you can't stand long. And that doesn't mean you got to be older either. There's younger people that don't have the ability to stand very long. It gives you the chance of sitting down and putting the shavings in your lap instead of on the floor. It's an identical lathe as the VL200. It's the same one. And so that gives an option. I know you've got some lathes downstairs. If someday when you're looking for another lathe or whatever, that might be something to consider. The other one that Vic Mar had, somebody said, I don't like blue. So they ordered a custom color. So if you want your lathe to be red, brown, green, or even purple, or whatever other color you want, Vic Mar will do it. And it would be a special order. It costs about 450 bucks, and it does vary a little bit depending on the color to get your lathe with a custom color. So if you want the only one in town, that's how you can do it. Now we'll just leave that there.
You're from Alberta and you don't like blue?
Oh, I like blue. What? Where'd it go? I don't know. That's my lathe right there, the VL300. And okay, maybe it's this one. I can't see it. There was a house, an old house that was built about 5 miles from where I grew up. And whoever built the house had a sense of humor. And he told the lady of the house, and she was from out east and living in the west, this was a scary proposition. So he said, if you put the windows in the corner, you can see around corners. So they built a house with the windows in the corner. I can't do that. Somewhere. Oh, there it is. Vernon set up most of that when I was doing the computer. I don't even know what's out here for a lot of it. I'll set this here as well. This is the VM100 chuck. It weighs about 4 pounds, and it's good for blocks, bow blanks, up to about 12 inches. I have gone higher. If you get a little bigger than that, what I would do is make sure you hold on with the tailstock until you get some of the weight pulled out of it. It uses an Allen key to tighten it up. It has the dust cover on the back end. If you talk to Windigein, who was doing the demos at the Toronto show for us, he's got 4 of these now, the bigger ones. And he says, I used to have to clean my chucks at least twice a year so that they would work smoothly. He says, these work better the longer you use them. Because you don't get the dust and the grime and the water from the green wood inside of them. The small one has a 4.5 to 5 compression ratio or gear ratio. The 120 has a 5 to 1. The jaws are made as a single unit. So that is made as one piece. And then it's cut into 4 and numbered sequentially, so that when you mount it on your truck, that thing holds your wood true. Wendicott told me the first time he used the chuck, and he has now got rid of all his other chucks, is I just did 10 bowls, and the only one I had to true up was the one I made a mistake on. And since I've started using the Vic Mar chucks, I don't true up any bowls anymore. I used to, what in the world am I doing wrong? I know I'm learning, but why in the world can I get this thing round when I turn it around? I guess it wasn't all me. I should get Vern to talk about the pen chuck. You wanted to drill a hole down the center. This thing works incredible. Vern just did, I think, how many did you do? 38 of them. And if you want to tell them what you did with them.
I don't need the mic. I
Okay.
can be loud enough. So I had a run of seam rippers to do. I do some custom orders. And I had to go back to the table, so I had 3 pieces of stock that were too big for the jaws. So I took the time to get them smaller. 38 blanks, 3 of them were deer antler. So no straight edges, so the bunch of time mucking to get them squared up. But I did 38 blanks with this chuck in an hour and 10 minutes. Whereas if I was doing it with my drill press or any other holding method, I'd have been 2.5 hours easy. I'd done, would have doubled my time. So if you're thinking about production turning it or that style, that particular thing saves your time.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Can those be used with a Ricon lathe, or is this
Yes.
exclusively?
Yeah. No, it's not
Okay,
exclusive.
I'll
You're gone.
What Vic Mar has done, I started this, and then the last price list they sent me, it was included as a stocking item. On the VM100 chuck, it has direct thread for 1x8, 1¼ x 8, and M33. Plus, then they have 52 other inserts. I had a guy from New York phone me, he says, I got an Italian lathe that's an M30. No problem, I can get you an insert. This one here will take an insert, you can see the size of the hole. So if you've got a lathe that doesn't take one of those 3 sizes, there's a pretty good chance we've got it. I even had one guy that built his own, and this was before he knew what anything was. He had a friend that had a tap and die that was 1¼ fine thread. Yeah, no problem. The VM120 chuck, I have not done with the 1x8 because by this time you're into a bigger piece that probably isn't, you're not going to be turning that on a lathe under 12 inches. So those ones, the direct thread is 1¼ x 8 or M33. So if you have a lathe, I've got a chuck that'll fit. If it doesn't, they will make a chuck. They will make an insert to fit your lathe. It would be a custom order. It costs a little bit more than the stock one, but we'll find out what it is and we can do that.